You've heard it a million times. Be a nice guy. Treat her with respect. Show kindness, and you'll win her heart. But have you ever stopped to wonder if that advice is actually destroying your chances? What if, all along, being nice wasn't the key to success? What if it was the very thing that's holding you back? We've all been taught that the world rewards kindness, humility, and selflessness. But the reality is darker than that. The truth is, the world rewards power, not politeness. And if you've spent your life being the nice guy, doing everything right and never stepping on anyone's toes, you've probably noticed that the world doesn't care. It's time to face an uncomfortable reality. Nice men lose. And the reason they lose isn't because they're lacking in character. It's because the world doesn't reward character. It rewards strength. And if you don't understand the Dark Triad traits, psychopathy, narcissism, and Machiavellianism, you will never understand why the nice guy always finishes last. The Dark Triad is a psychological concept that combines three traits: narcissism, an inflated sense of self-importance, a need for admiration, and a lack of empathy for others; Machiavellianism, the tendency to manipulate and deceive others for personal gain; psychopathy, a lack of empathy, impulsivity, and a willingness to use others without feeling remorse. Now, let's break this down. Psychologists have found that these traits, while often seen as negative, actually predict success in competitive environments. People who score high in Dark Triad traits are often seen as more charismatic, more confident, and more likely to climb the social ladder. But why? Because power is what the world respects. And the Dark Triad traits are direct expressions of power. They are all about self-interest, control, and domination. In a world where people are constantly vying for influence, the nice guy is often overlooked. He's too focused on being liked. Too focused on pleasing others. Meanwhile, the narcissist doesn't care what others think. The Machiavellian doesn't worry about ethics. And the psychopath doesn't feel guilty for stepping on whoever gets in their way. So, what's the solution for nice men? Is there hope for them, or are they doomed to be perpetually ignored and mistreated? The answer isn't to abandon kindness, it's to understand that strength comes in many forms, and sometimes, assertiveness is the key to getting what you want. Let's take a step back and think about how nice guys approach life. They follow the rules. They play fair. They try to make everyone happy. But here's the thing, the world isn't fair. And playing by the rules doesn't guarantee success. In fact, it often guarantees mediocrity. Now, contrast that with the Dark Triad traits. Narcissists are assertive. Machiavellians are strategic. Psychopaths are ruthless. And what happens when you combine these traits? You get someone who doesn't hesitate. Someone who takes control. Someone who knows what they want and takes it without feeling bad about it. The nice guy often hesitates. He worries about stepping on toes. He worries about being judged. He wants to make the right decision, even if it means sacrificing his own desires. But the Dark Triad types, they don't hesitate. They don't care about moral dilemmas. They just act. Here's the thing, people who are too nice don't get desired. They get used. Nice men often end up in the friend zone. They give too much and get too little in return. And why is that? Because their kindness makes them predictable. It makes them easy to manipulate. The Dark Triad traits, on the other hand, are unpredictable. They keep others on edge. They make people wonder what's coming next. They keep the upper hand in relationships. Now, this doesn't mean you have to become a psychopath, a narcissist, or a Machiavellian. But what it does mean is that you need to understand the value of assertiveness, confidence, and boundaries. You need to be able to say no when needed. You need to be able to take control of situations. And you need to stop pleasing others at the expense of your own needs. The key to winning in life is balance. You can be kind. You can be generous. But you also need to be able to say, I deserve respect. I deserve to be heard. I deserve to take what I want. You see, the nice guy isn't bad. The nice guy is simply ineffective because he doesn't know how to wield power. He has the right intentions but lacks the ability to assert himself. Let's talk about how to break this cycle. The first step is to understand the game. You don't need to be a narcissist to get ahead, but you do need to understand how power works. You need to know when to be kind and when to assert dominance. You need to know when to give and when to take. The second step is to set boundaries. Nice guys often fail because they don't set clear boundaries. They let people walk all over them, thinking that being nice will eventually lead to rewards. But boundaries are what separate the powerful from the powerless. Set boundaries and enforce them. Finally, build self-confidence. You can't expect others to respect you if you don't respect yourself. The more you believe in your own worth, the less you'll need to chase approval from others. When you know you're enough, you stop apologizing for who you are. The bottom line is this. Nice men lose because they don't understand power dynamics. They focus too much on pleasing others and not enough on asserting their own desires. If you want to win in life, whether it's in love, work, or social situations, you need to balance kindness with strength. Learn the art of assertive dominance and start taking control. You've heard the truth. Now ask yourself, are you a nice guy? Or are you a man who knows when to take control and demand respect? Let's discuss in the comments. And if this changed how you see power dynamics, share it with someone who's still stuck in the nice guy mindset.